welcome to Big Mike's Real Reviews. This is Big Mike, and this is going to be my spoiler-free review of Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1. Now, I want to preface this video saying that I love the Mission Impossible movies. Well, almost all of them. Mission Impossible 2, we're not going to talk about Mission Impossible 2. But every other Mission Impossible movie, huge fan. Huge Mission Impossible fan. I've seen every one of the Mission Impossible movies in the theater, just like the entire Fast and Furious franchise. However, unlike the Fast and Furious franchise where I'm like, this needs to end, I'm kind of sad to see the Mission Impossible movies go. So I want to preface with that. I've always had a soft spot for the Mission Impossible movies. Even as a kid, I remember watching some of the old reruns of the original show, and I was excited when, the movie was coming out in the late 90s. Went to see it in the theater, loved it. So even when I was doing, in 2018, I was doing a little bit of stunt work. Shout out to DC Stunt Coalition. I used to do some stunt work with them, and we actually got invited to the premiere of Mission Impossible Fallout. And I had a chance to meet Henry Cavill. He was a very nice guy. I even saw Simon Pegg. It was just cool to be at a premiere and see all these, actors and everything. And it was just, it was a really cool experience. So, again, always had a soft spot for the Mission Impossible movies. Now, that being said, is that going to sway my opinion of this movie? No, indeed not. I really enjoyed this movie. It was action-packed, thrills, spills, everything you really come to know and love about good Mission Impossible movies. So, yes, my decision will not be swayed by all those things. I'm going to go ahead and get my rating out of the way. It was a solid 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. Knocked it out the park. Tom Cruise was classic Tom Cruise. You know what you're getting when you're getting into these Mission Impossible movies. Tom Cruise is going to do some kind of crazy stunt. Like, that's what you saw in the trailer, where he literally, and in real life, drove this motorcycle off of this cliff with a parachute strapped to his back. Like, he did that a couple times, for the movie. Like him classic, like running for like miles and miles to catch some, bad guy or whatever. You're going to get car chases. You got all that. Like, this, it's classic Mission Impossible stuff. You know what you're getting into, but like, the way they do it, of course, you're still going to get those things, but for some reason it still doesn't seem to get stale, because in the grand scheme of things in the story and how it flows, it works. It just works. And I really enjoyed, like, the way this story goes. I think I really anticipated, the next movie as well. So in the past couple of months, we got movies that were two-parters, right? So Across the Spider-Verse. We know that Beyond the Spider-Verse is going to be coming out hopefully soon. And, ends on the cliffhanger, and you're like, okay, I want to see more right away. This was kind of the same thing. You get Mission Impossible. This is the part 1 of Dead Reckoning. Dead Reckoning Part 2 is coming out very soon. And by the end of part 1, you're like, I need to see the end of this trilogy. Or this series, I'm sorry. Even though we know that this is going to be the end of the original cast, and they're probably going to, bring in some new players, to continue the story and everything like that. It's going to be bittersweet to see, okay, more Mission Impossible movies without the OG cast. So we know that's coming, but they still delivered. And I mean, I feel like if they really stick the landing with the next movie, this can be ranked up there with, one of the best franchises, of all time. Like I said, I bring it back to Fast and Furious, where it's like you had so many missteps, with a few of their movies, where it's like with Mission Impossible, in my opinion, you only really had one misstep, and that was Mission Impossible 2. So I really enjoyed this film once again. I want to hear your comments down below if you've seen it, what you think about the movie. I really enjoyed it. And with that being said, that's going to be the end of the video.
I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you haven't already, click that subscribe button. And if you're feeling extra generous, give this video a like. It's much appreciated. And don't forget to hit that bell to be notified of all my latest content. And once again, thanks for watching, and see you next time.